One day in April of 1974, when I was 4 years old, my father came for one of his visits, and the plan was that he would take me to the Vigeland Park, which is a sculpture park here in Oslo.
When the time went by, I expected them back 2 o'clock. It was 2:30, and I took my coat. I could meet them at the tram station, but there were none. 3:30, 7:30, I went to the police. And then I think I said to the policeman that, can he have taken her to another country, to the United States?
He instead took me to the airport, and we boarded a flight to New York. I started having nightmares at night. I'd wake up and think that there were lions and tigers in the room. Became a really scared child. I was terrified all the time, and I started to forget what my mother looked like. I remember trying to picture her in my head, and I couldn't remember her face anymore.
I wrote it many, many years ago, and it was to you, and I didn't know where you were. And it goes like this: ensomhet, ensomhet, fryd, musikk, koraller, ensomhet, farger, blomsterdufter, ensomhet, alt. Og jeg hadde I was left with ensomhet, loneliness.
It's beautiful.
You were a special child, you know. I'm a teacher, so I know I could compare.
You're not biased at all, are you?
Terrible thing to say.
It's wonderful. I love it.
I lived a parallel life. I had my own private struggle and war, and on the other side I had to work like a normal person. So they were two different parts of me. 71 years, and you have to have this story to tell people about your life. That's not, it's very hard, painful.
What I see after these days here is a very sad person, a lonely person, a person with regret, with a very chaotic inner life, very torn about what he did, about the consequences, about his life now. This is where he lives, this tiny little, dirty little place. The smell is pretty bad, and he's not doing very well at all. I'm full of emotion and sadness, for everything that he's put himself through and put us through. For me, I'm left with devastating bouts of depression and anxiety, insomnia, and it's hard to admit that because I like to pretend that I'm doing fine. I don't think I can ever close the door on the past, but I can make peace with it in a whole different way than I ever thought that I could. Closing little doors. It was, it is, and it always will be what happened, and it will always affect me to some extent, but it doesn't have to take over anymore. I feel in control of my story. Like, I understand it better. I understand myself better. I understand both of my parents better on the path towards healing. Vigeland Park feels like the place I disappeared from. There's a bittersweetness. I'm glad that I'm there. I'm glad I'm able to visit it today and reclaim it. There always will be some ambiguity in this story. I can't put it all in a neat little box. And it's mine, it's ours. It is what it is.